Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning trading room. I trust you had a nice weekend. Mine was very enjoyable. Thank you. All right. I know we've got a couple new people in the room here this morning. Welcome. Let me encourage you to ask questions if there's anything you would like to see or don't understand. If there's a market you would like me to feature, certainly if it's in my assortment, I will pull it up for you. A really quick overview of what you're looking at here. I've got the complete DTS system along with the Raptor. So here in the top left, I have my Hawk micro scalper. Top right, Falcon swing trader. Bottom left is the Eagle trend trader, and then the bottom right is the Raptor. I'm following the NASDAQ on this monitor. I've also got the Russell and crude oil open on my other monitor. But like I said, feel free to request a market or ask questions. Friday's trading rather subdued. The market did recover after an early decline. So the market falling off slightly out of the open. I won't scroll all the way back, recovering through the afternoon session, finishing the day around 71.75. The pre-market here this morning, very, very quiet, and we are pretty much opening from where we left off yesterday. So for the most part, the market's still very congested, constipated. There you go. Market's a little constipated, just kind of stuck. And it looks like it's a pretty quiet open for a Monday. A lot of times Mondays can be rather active, especially the opening minutes. Not so today. Well, although maybe I spoke too soon. We're putting in a little bit of a rally now. The Hawk scalper giving us a couple of buy signals here out of the open. Pre-market, we had the first micro macro cross signal. That's this one right here. That's when the micro line, the thin one, crosses the macro line, the thick one. And it's your first signal where everything is in sync. So we've got green bars, green trend lines, green filter, and of course a green signal. It looks like that one's having a little bit of follow through. The trend change signal here in the Falcon, also decent progress on that. If I remember right, Friday's highs, yes, Friday's highs were here at, well, let's get the exact number, 71.87 3/4, so essentially 71.88. But it's still very early, of course. We have a primary resistance line just hovering below 71.92. Now that the clouds have crossed here on the Raptor, we might expect a little bit of a pullback. And if the market is going to continue higher, we could get a number one signal. That's the cloud crossover signal. Excuse me. All right, so here's that pullback now. And at this point, we'll see how serious the buyers are about rallying the market. Ooh, or are they going to lose their grip and the market's going to stay sideways? All right, let's take a look here now. We're actually getting a little conflicted again. The hawk producing a red bar buy signal, which tends to develop near the end of a trend. Not that we have much of a trend to begin with. The falcon, a little conflicted. The eagle, bullish at the moment, but waffling. It's hard to call this bullish. It is a buy signal, but it's one of those signals that is going to develop in hindsight. And then here, of course, on the Raptor, we've now produced our number one signal. But again, you can't take these trades simply, oh, there's a number one signal, let's buy. You got to kind of take the context into account, and seeing that the context is so sideways, I think I might be inclined for a second push entry, or even just to leave a very broad entry point. In which case, am I going to get a second push, or I can just throw an order above there? What time is it? We're only 10 minutes in. It may not even be worth trying this signal so early in the day, but there you go. Everything, the hawk is in sync again. We got another first micro macro cross. All right. So they did bring us in. Let's see whether we got enough to take us higher here. Yeah, Dan pointing out the first in sync eagle signal du jour. So that would be this one right here, kind of coinciding with that trend change signal. And it looks like that, don't know if it quite got to the profit objective, but it's doing well. It's certainly high enough up there that you could capture some of that open profit. So good eye, Dan. Phil's got a question here about the number one signal that printed to the short side just pre-market. Phil asked, Why would the arrow at 5:49 your time go short as a number one signal trend change? All right, let's take a look at that. So the trend change signal is based on two things. It's based on the cloud changing direction, and there has to be a little bit of a pullback. So here the clouds went from a bullish cloud to a bearish cloud. The cloud's fully crossing at this point right here. So that means from down here now, the programming is going to look for some sort of pullback. And we had a little bit of a pullback here. And then it's going to look for the signal parameters to be met again. And you can see we had several warning dots here. And at this point, the market finally got low enough to complete the whole signal, at which point it printed the triangle and the hash mark. Now, in actual fact, the signal is printing right here. The hash mark, of course, is a suggested entry, but it doesn't mean you have to enter there. A lot of times, well, you've seen me do this, a lot of times when it looks like there's rather obvious support, I'll probably try to enter on the other side of the support. Why would I do that? Well, because I know there's buying going on here, right? I know there's buying support here, there's buying support here. So what I want to do is I want to make sure the buyers are going to get overrun, in which case it's going to create a condition called trapping traders. And when traders get trapped, it can lead to a very quick move lower, or if in the opposite case, higher. So in an instance like this, even though the signal actually printed right here, I would probably delay my entry until I got below this swing point by a couple of ticks. Or you could wait for a second push opportunity. But that's why the signal printed. The clouds crossed. Oops, sorry, wrong button. Clouds crossed. Here was the little pullback, and then the signal parameters were met. Here the clouds crossed, right? We go from a bearish cloud to a bullish cloud. Here's a rather sustained pullback, and then now we come out with the signal. So those are the elements of a number one signal. The clouds changing direction, followed by a pullback, and then once the signal parameters confirm that the market's going to continue in the new direction, then we produce the signal. Good question, though. I'm glad you asked it. So it's looking like we are kind of bullish here this morning, of course. Okay, here now coming another pullback phase, so we're kind of in a little bit of a consolidation mode. But the market is looking bullish, so I would be more inclined to be a buyer at this point. So it looks like at this point we may get ourselves a number 3 signal here on the Raptor if the market drifts back into the hard edge. But, you know, we are still within this broader sideways trading range. In fact, here it may be easier just to see it on a plain old daily chart. So here we are at the contract highs, a little bit of a pushback when the market broke through last week. Friday session recovering a little bit, and now here we are. So overall still bullish, but if we make a quick little double top here over the week or something, I could see a little bit of a harder pushback from the sellers. That is entirely possible. But right now, the market definitely, I would say, still in buy mode. All right, we'll give them a few minutes here to settle in and perhaps offer us up another signal. All right. Well, here on the the Falcon, we're producing a late filter entry, which we all know is a fairly reliable signal as far as the Falcon is concerned. What's funny though is it doesn't look very inviting, does it? Especially with that high right there. The signal is already produced, so right now we'd be looking at a second push opportunity, or even just entering above that last swing high, kind of your just in case order. We'll see how this one follows through though, if there's follow through to it. They're laying off a little bit from the highs. This could give us that double top type formation I was talking about. All right, I'm going to scrub this order for now. We'll just put that away. The late filter entry signal, by the way, for those of you looking to do that signal, is still valid. We've had a couple of late filter entry signals kind of piggybacking on each other. We've got this one, we've got this one. I would actually treat it just as one signal. So I'm not saying the signal is not valid, but I just don't feel like trying to wait it out, actually. Looks like we're encountering a little bit of a pullback. All right, the Raptor now producing a counter trend signal. That's the number 2 signal. The number 2 signal develops, because it's counter trend, it needs to have something resembling a trend. And then there's going to be this telltale test of the extreme. In this case, the extreme being the hot, and then the failure. The target for the signal is the hard edge of the trading band. And it looks like it shall drift down there, albeit rather slowly. Oh, Steve, great. I see that you made it into the room. I just sent you another email to see whether the link I sent you was working, so you can just disregard that. Well, there's not much we can do when the market is just sideways like this. Very quiet. All right, we're back into the hard edge now. And still just very quiet, a little bit of a pullback. Not much to do with the market at this point. I will mention that sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once here. I do have some early commitments this week, so we're going to be shutting down the trading room a little bit early for a few days this week. I apologize for the inconvenience. Well, we'll see if we get another signal here this morning. Things very, very quiet. All right, here come the buyers again. Well, sort of. There was a little buying flurry, and that seemed to be fairly short-lived. But we are into the hard edge of the trading band, so this is normally where we anticipate some sort of reaction. This is where we expect the market to do something. And you can even draw a little bit of a trend line like that. Almost has a bull flag shape to it. Of course, now that we are in the hard edge, we'll be looking for that number 3 signal. All right, there now the number 3 signal is completed on the Raptor. The Raptor and the Eagle, so far the early birds, if you excuse the pun, with the signal. Oh, I was hoping for a little bit of a second push on this one before you run away on me. So the second push simply means we allow the signal to engage. We see where the market reacts, and then we use that reactionary zone as our signal bar. The reason for this is, well, if you suspect the market might be congested, if the market is uncommitted, my reasoning is it's better to get in a little bit late and stay on the right side than get in early only to be run over. In fact, the way the market is right now, we could even do an OCO order. We could bracket it. We could click our OCO. And then remember, when you use your OCOs, you're going to right click. You're not going to use your trade manager down here. You're going to right click on your chart and select your orders. These orders, again, are live when you put them on your chart. So I tend to place them away and then move them into where I want them to be. And we effectively have the market cornered right now. So we had a number 2 signal to sell. This is where the market reacted. We had a number 3 signal to buy. This is where the market reacted. So it's kind of stuck. Oh, all right, here, let's try that again. So we're going to short. And I'm going to leave my stop up here for starters. Okay, they're trying. They're a little bit slow, but They are trying to head lower. Oh, wow, okay, we made it. Okay, we'll put that back on the shelf. And now it looks as though the market's going to try to do a cloud crossover to the short side. It just goes back to the whole conflicted nature of the market of late. It's just really tough. All right. Excuse me. Now we're getting the cloud crossover here now to the short side. The market, I don't know, a little reluctant maybe to continue lower. Are the buyers going to mount another rally? After all, the market did start off fairly bullish on the day, although we are almost back to where we began. You can see the low of the morning right here. A really subdued day for a Monday, I have to say. It's very, very quiet. Okay, so what's interesting is now we've got a number two signal. Again, the market getting a little bit conflicted, a little pinched. This number two signal, although technically counter trend, may also be with trend if you look at the larger overall trend. It just kind of adds to the confusion when the market is this way, when it's so sideways. All right, well, we'll put that on the shelf. Good thing is we don't need to chase every signal, do we? We can wait for the signals that turn out better. Well, like I said, things very slow right now. Well, you can see how conflicted the market is. Getting all this candy striping going on here in the Raptor. Yeah, Steve says no trade Monday. It's really quiet. I'm just going to check the reports calendar here, see what's going on, and there's not much to drive the market at the moment. Very little going on tomorrow. Oh, I see. Wednesday, we've got an FOMC statement coming out. That's a little bit early for killing the market, but hey, obviously the market is anticipating something. So the next couple, 3 days could all be very dull as we wait on those FOMC minutes. All right, we got ourselves a bearish break now on the Raptor here. The Eagle also trend has officially changed, or the trading band has officially changed. Is the market going to drift back toward the bottom end of this trading range? It's important when the market gets like this that you don't chase it around all over the place. Yeah, there we go. Just back and forth, back and forth. All right, gang. I'm going to have to shut down the room a little bit early here, as I mentioned. There's not a whole heck of a lot going on anyhow. I would anticipate another bullish rally. However, I don't think that this little hiccup that we've seen here is anywhere near going to qualify as a test of the extreme. I think the buyers owe us one more little bit of a rally up here before the next move lower. And we are down here at a support zone. So I think if you're going to be trading anyway in particular, I think you're going to do better looking for a buying opportunity. at least for the short term. But it's really starting to look like the market's just going to keep moving sideways for the next, well, certainly for today and possibly for tomorrow as well, but we shall see. I will see you again tomorrow morning. Have yourselves a great day. Bye for now.